Power 92. We are #1 in the streets.
Power 92, we are #1 in the streets. My name's May Hot, your midday girlfriend. Today, guys, on the Zoom, we have Division. How you guys feeling?
Good.
Very well. I'm both of you guys today. Yeah. And congratulations on all the success so far, guys. I've been keeping up with all your interviews so far. And I mean, you guys have been doing a lot of media and a lot of everything. So how do you guys feel right now? You know, it's been, what, like a month since the record dropped? Maybe 3 weeks, something like that?
Yeah, we're around a month now.
Yeah, it's a month out, and I mean the response is crazy for If I Get Caught. You guys are like the topic of podcasts. You guys are the topic of my radio breaks. I mean, the song, did you realize what it was gonna do when it dropped?
I think we knew it was gonna be a conversation starter. I don't think we thought the conversation was gonna explode and be that big and that quick. But we knew because we had tested the record on just random groups of people for a few months before we ever put it out, just to see, you know, what were with the songs that we got. Every time I played this song, the whole room would burst into argument, burst into conversation. And I think what we liked most was the fact that at the end of the conversations, there was so much like honesty put on the table. And people had to stop and say, oh, you know what, I get what you're saying, or I feel you, or, you know, oh, I see it from your perspective. And seeing that from both sides, we're like, okay, this is what humans need right now. You know, this is beyond the culture. This is like, relationships need this.
I was saying that I feel like not a lot of people are really paying attention to the record, because when I was telling them I was supposed to talk to you guys last week and then we got rescheduled today, they were like, oh, the guys just sing the If I Got Caught Cheating song, that toxic ass song. And I'm thinking in my head, like, well, then you didn't really listen. Do you guys feel the same way when people constantly throw that word? Like when I see Division on Twitter, toxic follows right after, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm tired of people thinking that when they hear the song. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think that's the easy way for people to categorize anything that's like uncomfortable now. But not every uncomfortable conversation is toxic, right? I think the toxicity comes from the intention, you know, like if you're doing something with the intention of just trying to like get at someone or trying to almost like put people down in the record, then yeah, I guess there's something toxic about it. If you're having an open, honest conversation, is that toxic?
You know, is it? Because can you be honest and still be an honest, toxic human being? Because I feel like people blur the lines between toxic and honest. A realist.
Mm-hmm. I think what this song has done has kind of proven that we all need therapy, because it's become like a huge therapy session. Everybody's just working through their problems and using this song as the way to like get out their angers and their frustration. But the fact that everybody has such a strong reaction means we all probably have some things that, you know, underlying issues that could have been talked about before the song, but the song has now given you a way to kind of get those things out.
Does this song show where you guys are at, I guess, in the therapy realm of things? Or are you guys in therapy and this was something that you guys wrote? Like, how does that fit into your personal life for real?
I mean, the song to me it represents a perspective and a thought. And what I think it does more than anything is it starts you having to ask the questions that matter. You know, at some point soon, we're all gonna have to be like, okay, all right, cool. We love the song. We're at that place. Now, okay, cool. If it's not because you don't love me, what is it?
I was gonna ask you that. What is it?
I mean, it's not the exact same thing for everybody, but one thing that I do notice commonly, especially amongst men, but definitely with both, is, you know, it's an ego-driven, self-serving, self-indulgent act that comes from you having something going on inside that you have not yet addressed, because it's causing you to have to feel like you need to lie. It's causing you to feel like you need to hide things. It's causing you to have to feel like you've committed to something that you're not happy in. So why are you even doing that? You know, why are you, or not, maybe not happy in, maybe you're somebody that's just not cool with saying, look, I love you and you're my everything. You're who I want to build my life with, but I want to be able to do X, Y, Z. Or if it's, I feel like I constantly have to conquer new things, so I go out and do this. I got to stroke my own ego. This is how I feel desired. You know, you aren't making me feel, a lot of women, it's, you know, there's a void here. I'm emotionally detaching, so I'm out here doing, there's so many reasons. There's so many things underneath it. But a lot of times what you find out is the reason people even feel bad at the end is because they care about what's going on at home, which means it's not that you lost the feelings here. There was something else happening. And that's the important part that I hope we get to soon enough anyways.
Right. Well, you know, what do you say to because I hear women say it all the time, that men, there isn't a if a lot of times, and that you guys are just cheating just to cheat. Is that also a thing too? That you guys are just doing it just because you can?
Some guys are doing that, but I'm saying underneath the because we can is, okay, but why do we feel?
There's still an underlying.
Yeah, that's an ego thing then. That's something.
Ego is huge.
There's something in there that's making us feel we feel the desire to go prove we can do it to ourselves or something, whatever that is. If you want to say that's nature, if you want to say that's nurture, if you want to say that's whatever the reasons might be, it's like, that is there. Yes, there's plenty of guys, because most times the guy is completely happy with his girl. That's why people are like, oh, how do you cheat on so-and-so? How do you cheat on this girl? And every guy is like, we know why, because it had nothing to do with her. It's completely has everything to just do with that guy and whatever's going on with him. It's interesting layer combo. We're saying, go ahead.
It is. I feel like we could talk about this forever. I have these conversations with friends all the time. In fact, I remember this man I used to date. We were just dating. It wasn't even the boyfriend-girlfriend stage. And I saw somebody else during that time, and I told him about it just because I wanted to be upfront. And he was in so much shock. When I tell you it took him back, he was like, you're not supposed to be doing those things. If I did it, it'd be more okay. But for you to do it as a woman, like, it's just not okay. So then it made me feel like men just cannot handle the things that I feel like they dish out sometimes. They can't handle it if a woman does it. Do you guys agree with that? Like, if a woman were to cheat on you, is it easier to take her back? Is it harder? Is it a dead no? I feel like we're a lot more accepting.
Absolutely. And our egos are wired differently, right? Men's egos are 100% more fragile. And because we're such physical beings, the moment that you do something physical, it's like, oh, so they took away our manhood. This is like, we conquered this and now someone else came and took it from us. And there's a whole different psychological thing going on, I think, than women. But at the end of the day, you know, what this song is showing is we as men, we have a lot of double standards, but also it's showing us women, you guys have a lot of hypocrisy too, because I've seen some girls cheering on these female responses, and the female responses are 30 times more toxic than anything we said.
Tell me more. I definitely want to know like what the women are saying versus what the men are saying.
Oh, the women are showing they 100% revenge cheat. They 100% want to, they what do they keep saying? Oh, if you go low, we go to the flow. Like, as soon as the minute you violate us to any level, we want to do worse. I want to sleep with your friend. I want to sleep with your roommate. Oh, you want to do that? Let me go holler at your daddy. I've heard so many things. I'm like, yo, what are you guys doing? And girls are like, yes. And I'm like, wait, didn't you say the song was toxic? Now you guys are cheering on so the hypocrisy is crazy.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I've definitely used that line before. I'm gonna holler at your boy. You know, I just want to hit him where it hurts. So I'm familiar with that line, but I can see why would triple post to the makeup. I love the things that you say in it because it's kind of like almost giving a disclaimer, like you already knew what it was when you got here. That's what I'm getting from the, you wouldn't even want me if I didn't have these hoes. Come on.
But let me be clear about that line, because I know that line, I've heard that a lot.
Go ahead.
When I'm talking about being fly when you got here and charismatic when you got here, I'm talking about the fact that things that you loved are now the things that are making you insecure. Right? These verses, I'm not talking about.
Absolutely, that's what I gathered too.
These verses are not talking about a guy that's cheating. It's not me saying, oh, I was fly, so you already know what it was. I'm out here with these hoes. No, it's saying you liked me because of the way that I dressed and the fact that I was attractive and my energy was good. But now that's turning into, where are you getting stuff to go? Now you want to, well, you always smile. Oh, you're always too friendly. You talk too much. All these things that partners put on one another after they get them. But usually it's the reason that they liked them in the first place.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I was shaking my head, just agreeing with you the whole time I was listening to the record. And just for record, I'd rather cry in a foreign. Just so y'all know. I would much rather cry.
What's your favorite car?
What's
your favorite car?
Did you say my favorite
car? What's your favorite car?
I mean, I'd a Phantom. I love Phantoms.
Okay. She wants the big body. Okay, no. Say no more. Say no more.
Yes. Let me cry in a Phantom. Okay, you hear me. You hear me. So on my Instagram story one day, I was bored and I was playing this game called Would You Rather? I'm sure you guys are familiar. But two of the questions really stuck out to me when I heard this record. I was like, I gotta ask them. So one of them is, would you guys rather be the person who gets cheated on or the person doing the cheating?
Doing the cheating, getting caught doing the cheating.
Rather get cheated on, or would you rather be the person doing the cheating?
To be honest, at this point in my life, I think I'd rather get cheated on than be the one doing cheating. And the reason I say that is because I think that gives me clarity to be able to move with versus cheating. Cheating doesn't really give you any clarity, really, it just kind of makes things messier. If someone cheats on you and you were to find out, I think that from there you get to kind of make some decisions on the person. You can at least do something with that.
Okay, you're right. I think I agree with that answer. And then the other one, would you rather be the one who gets caught cheating, or would you rather be the one doing the catching?
Doing the catching?
You too, 85. I want to hear what you got to say about this too.
Yeah, I think anybody, wouldn't you rather catch somebody than be caught? I think.
No, some people wouldn't. Some people are so much in their feelings, they would rather the opposite side. But I'd rather do the catching, because it's the same reason. Now I know, and I can do something with this, versus I got caught and now I feel like an idiot and I feel like I hurt somebody and I'm filled with guilt and having to be like, oh, you idiot, and all the stuff that comes with that. The remorse is the worst part of that, I think.
Yeah, I would rather be hurt than hurt someone.
Yeah, for sure.
It sucks.
More control of what happens if I'm hurt than what I'm doing to somebody else.
I feel like
yeah.
I feel like you're changing her answer right now. You're giving her reasons to not go with her original answer. What was your original answer?
Okay. I feel like I want to catch the person cheating. I think. Yeah, because I don't want to get caught cheating because I am like a big empath and I can't live with that shit on my soul and I just can't. So I think I'd rather catch the person, even though it hurts all the way around. So it doesn't even freaking matter. But as far as this, like, you know, it was like kind of like storytelling when I was watching the video and everything. So it makes me really excited for the album because I'm just assuming that there's more to the story or this is maybe the beginning. Like, tell me a little bit about it if you can, about this album that I'm assuming, you know, the song will be on.
The song actually ended up being probably one of the last pieces to the album, you know? So a lot of the album was dealing with a lot of different relationship topics. We've always been dealing with relationship topics, but I think this is the most just raw and transparent we've been. You know, I think we've kind of really like gone very direct. Well, as you can see from the first single, we've gone very direct with a lot of the topics. So what you're seeing with this song that we released is the result of a lot of the other stuff that was building up in the relationship. And, you know, how do you handle that? And how do you get to this place? And what do you do once you got to this place? So I think, you know, I think people will understand where we're coming from a lot more than just taking it like, oh, these guys are condoning cheating. You know, I think that's where a lot of the anger comes from right now. Like, really? Like, this is what you guys want to promote? And it's like, it's not about promoting it. It's about having the conversation. And then the bigger question is, where do you go from there? You know, what does the conversation become? What do both sides need to put on the table? Because it's always, there's two sides,
Is there two or three?
And right now, I think a lot of people, there could be 3 or 4. But I think right now, a lot of people are pointing the finger at Daniel because he's the messenger, you know, like, oh, I can't believe you guys said that. But it's like, if I didn't say it, it's just happening. You know, these things are happening regardless.
Right.
Now what? You know, where do we go? What's the bigger picture here?
And it's interesting because I'm trying to think like of a song before this song that talked about this in this way, but I don't think I could think of one. And it's interesting because we've been doing music forever. So it's interesting that we're just talking about after time.
But the perspective is so much different.
There is a lot of cheating records. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I like the approach.
I was telling Jermaine that before we dropped this, and I think it even took him a second to really watch it click. You know, I was telling JD, I'm like, yo, I don't know if you realize this, but this has never happened before. And he's like, what?
Never.
I'm like, bro, this really has never happened before. This has never happened before. Like, there's never been something from this perspective. Usually when people do cheating songs, they go with the, ooh, baby, please take me back route. They go with the, you know, I'm creeping on the low. This is my side chick, side piece song.
Absolutely.
Or, you know, it's that kind of thing. This is kind of right in the moment and the ego behind these things and the questions that go into all these things. And it just leaves you there. It doesn't go right into the remorse or what happens next. You know, it just kind of keeps you right there. And with a chorus like that chanty, that catchy, and having guys feel like they've been vindicated because they've been trying to say this for the longest time because they, for some reason, I guess, are more prone to being in relationships with people that they actually still want to be with and still doing this. And it's like, they finally feel like, oh, somebody said it. Okay, oh my God. So usually there's no anthem. There's never been an anthem. I can't think of an R&B anthem that made every guy want to sing.
No.
And now,
I can't think of one either.
Yeah. And so when it goes from the guys to the point that now it's spilling and now it's the girls also that love singing the song, it's just becoming its own thing, and the discourse, the conversation. I mean, I hope people understand what we want out of this could never be toxic, because we're putting this here to progress it, but we can't progress it to address the situation.
We got to talk about it.
We got to talk about it.
And you guys really do have everyone's talking, like I mentioned. I didn't watch the video, which I feel like the video helped me understand it too. But I don't know if people are watching music videos for real. So I love visuals though. So I love that you guys are doing that. But is there a time frame that we can expect more to the story?
Yeah. We're about to shoot the video for the second single soon. And the second single is kind of like, naturally, if the first song is based in the ego, it's like, okay, where does that ego now take you? That's the second song.
So do you think it's going to hit like this one? Is it powerful?
I think this next song is going to it pretty much embodies everything that everyone is saying is moving on.
Stop it. I can't wait. I definitely look forward to it. And I feel like I speak for a lot of people because this song is just like, it's just the single and you talk about it for hours as if you dropped an album.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So kudos to the both of you. I want to talk real quickly about your stance on R&B. That was another topic that I saw, when Diddy talked about it being dead. I'm such an R&B head that broke my mind. Like, are you just missing some people? That statement a little bit. He was saying something like, it's the love, vulnerability, and the support that the R&B game needs. So where are you guys when you hear things like that?
I saw that. I was super bothered by the initial statement, which was like, R&B is dead. Whatever. That bothered me, because as someone that loves and lives and breathes this, it's like, yo, you that's so it's so irresponsible, and it's so like it's
disappointing.
It's harmful. It's harmful to the. He's absolutely right. The conversation should have really been, where is the mainstream support for R&B? Right? But when you start just putting this conversation, a very nuanced conversation, ends of people that aren't educated and don't love it as much as guys like, I'm sure, Puff, Jermaine, all of us do. And now it just starts becoming this topic amongst a bunch of people to go spread on Twitter, and spread, which whether people realize it or not, the more you just see things is the more you just start to just accept it. And I don't want that to be a thought that we ever say, because there's too many people making R&B and making great R&B. The problem is, yes, those songs are not being pushed to the forefront the way that certain other kinds of genres and certain other things are, and the way it used to be in, the 90s, early 2000s. Absolutely, that's all right. I think he was trying to find an interesting way of bringing the conversation to his album is coming, and to what he's about to do with, Love Records and his new project, which is, it's hats off to. And we have, Paul, I think Paul, you produced something on there, right? I think that's gonna, yeah. So like, okay. He's reached out to us when he first was talking about putting together this album, and on calling artists on IG Live, he's like, Division, I need you, so and so, I need you. So I'm like, we're here, why would you say something like that? So I think that he went for a little bit of the shock value. I think once he realized, like, oh shoot, that didn't really help, he's trying to now put it back in perspective. And I agree that love songs from B artists don't get promoted the same way, where it's just pure love. And mainstream R&B has not really supported in that way. I can agree with that. But the art form is alive. Go ahead.
I think what the problem is, people don't really give validation to R&B after 90s and 2000s. So everyone acts like after that era, everything just stopped. It didn't stop. It's like it's still there, but everything is always compared to like 90s, 2000 R&B. So much so that you can't even have like a progressive conversation of R&B because it's always being compared to like 20 years ago, where every other genre of music has kept evolving and has been given the space to evolve. With R&B, everybody's like, oh, well, it doesn't sound like what I grew up on, but it shouldn't. You grew up like R&B too. Like there's so many other things that have happened in that time frame, you know?
I agree completely. I feel like people just sort of don't expect music to evolve, but I feel like it's happened with hip hop too. It happened.
I remember when Nas was saying hip hop's dead.
Absolutely.
It's the biggest genre in the world.
Absolutely. So thanks for the perspective quite a bit. Now, who are some of the R&B artists that you guys listened to before you even tapped in musically? Like before this happened for you guys?
I think it's all we're real students of the game. So for us, I think we listen to the greats because we're trying to be great. You know, you can't be a great until you ingest greatness. So for me, it's it's the Tevin Campbells, it's the Boyz II Men's, it's the Ushers, it's Stevie Wonder, it's Prince, it's Michael. It's those things that inspire me really, even though they're before our time, some of them even before our parent time. It's still like these are the bars of excellence that I have, that I look to. But we listen to everybody because we want to make sure that we know what people are doing, so we can be sure that what we're doing is separate from the pack.
Yeah.
But as far as inspiring us, or inspiring me anyways, I'll say, as far as R&B, it's all those, it's all the greats. It's anyone we know we should be listening to. Mariah, Whitney, Tony, down to Aaliyah, whatever it is. So.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Has anyone in the industry acknowledged the record and told you how raw it was?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah, there's definitely been people that have said things, seeing comments from, somebody messaged me the other day and they said, yo, I'm in this club and they're playing If I Get Caught and everyone's singing along. I'm standing right beside Missy and Missy's going crazy right now. And I was like, oh, like that's meant so much,
That is so powerful that a record like this can slam in a club. Like, That's not what we're listening to in the clubs.
Right.
Like, that's huge.
Yeah. The fact that I don't know what kind of club it was. Maybe it wasn't the EDM. I'm sure it's not the EDM club or the huge pop club, but there's definitely If I Get Caught is ringing off in the parties. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Once I start singing the beginning of the song, it's like people automatically know what I'm talking about. So
yeah,
you guys did really good. Right. So it makes me super excited about the album. I've kept you guys for a while, so thank you so much. Plug your socials so my listeners and all of Chicago can tap in. Yes,
please, Chicago, follow us, tap in with Division, DVSN on all your social platforms.
Yes. And we look forward to having you guys again when the album drops, because I'm sure it'll be a lot more to talk about.
That's a fact.
All right. Continued success to the both of you. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Take care, guys.
Power 92.3 FM.